Is there an example? Can you give me an example of that?
I can talk about my own experience. I have no doubt that some of my lucid dreams were in fact out-of-body experiences on other worlds and other levels of reality, because I know the difference between a fantasy dream, between a bad digestion dream, and a real clear out-of-body experience. It has a different feeling, and it leaves an impression that one cannot forget.
What if I said, excuse me, Chris, what if I just said to you, I'm out here, you're crazy?
It sounds like the Danny Show.
But no, what if I just said you're crazy? Then how would you answer those people out there thinking that?
Some people will say, you're crazy, and that's okay, because I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm speaking for those people who are curious and who have a knowing inside that our understanding of reality is deficient and partial and poor, and that there's a lot more going on in the universe and on Earth in spiritual terms than we're told by our leaders. So for people who say I'm crazy, I say, that's okay. If you believe that, go off and do something better. But there are many people who cannot dismiss these ideas so readily. And again, it comes to inner knowing. It's simply a question of what a person knows for him or herself in their heart, with a balanced mind coming from the heart.
If there, you interpreted 100 million ETs on Earth today. Are those all of the same race?
The 100 million extraterrestrials on Earth represent a majority of whom are positive or benevolent beings coming from many galaxies, many ET civilizations, and many levels of awareness. Some of those souls are quite innocent. They're loving and kind, but they have very little wisdom, while other of those souls are profoundly developed beings with wisdom and love and a complete understanding of the universe, which they've developed, but they have yet to remember, or they're coming to that identity.
What is their purpose?
The purpose of all extraterrestrial wanderers on Earth who are benevolent, which is the majority, is to serve humanity. Service means bringing a little bit of kindness, compassion, love, and warmth, as well as helping people clarify their own growth, their own spiritual development. There are many wanderers who are simply baking cakes for the boys' Little League team and will never know that they're from the Sirian star system and that they're 2 billion years older than humanity. And it's not necessary for them to know it, but they are ETs. And they help the world by being a kind grandmother, or being a janitor, or being a teacher.
Can you talk about the kids, Scott, the kids, and about and the government, Chris?
If you can
the government knows and about the kids. Let's address all these kids right now that we're all wondering about.
Well, I would say that there are many of the children who are born today, and many of the children under the age of 20 are extraterrestrial souls. They're from planets that are not too far beyond Earth, not much older, but they're all coming from a place of love and kindness and innocence. These are not children who will start wars or maintain a competitive economic system where there's injustice. These are people who are here to develop the new civilization, who are the founders of the new age. And many of the extraterrestrials on the planet now will leave very shortly. The children today will assume leadership positions in the new age. And many parents can recognize that during pregnancy there was a very special feeling of a blessing or a grace. As the children grow up, they're different, they're unusual, they're special. Maybe they have special abilities. Certainly they're often intelligent, but they're very kind and they're very precocious. And many of these are ET souls.
Let's go through.
Did we get all that?
We did.
That was great.
Just to talk about.
Okay. So Scott, let's talk a little bit about part of your role has been to help spread the word and to help people understand their experience and who they are. And you've developed kind of what would you, a test or a questionnaire to see whether or not you're an ET or extraterrestrial? So there's a lot of kids out there who are feeling this and maybe aware of what you just said. how do they know that this is the role that they're serving?
How do I know? That's a clear question.
Two questions. So first, let's talk about the questionnaire, how you've begun to define for people how they will know if they're an ET.
Okay. In my book, I have a questionnaire. There are 12 indications that are signs of being an extraterrestrial soul, including childhood experiences, including the sense of being different, including a certain kind of innocence and naivete, and paranormal experiences and interest in spirituality, UFOs, and worlds beyond. So there are many indications in the book and that I've recognized that show me when a person is an extraterrestrial. And I have met many people who are extraterrestrial souls, some of whom have a connection to Andromeda, some to the Pleiades, other ones to Sirius, the Sirian star system, some who say they're from Sagittarius. Just as America is a melting pot for peoples from all over the globe, likewise Earth is actually a great vast collection of souls from many points in the galaxy. Extraterrestrial souls are here from all over, and that's one reason for the vast numbers of UFOs and the different types of UFO contacts and experiences, because there are many different groups here now.
Okay. Now let's talk about, for kids, how would they realize, I mean, would they come see you? Are people seeking each other, or the extraterrestrial souls seeking each other?
Well, I do personal counseling for individuals and families and groups, for people who are wondering who they are, their origin, and their purpose on Earth. There are indications that one is an extraterrestrial soul. Only an individual can come to that conclusion inwardly over a period of time. My counseling can help that. It's a slow process, but there are people gathering, and there are more groups now developing of people who know that they are ET souls, whether they're children or adult. Interestingly, most of the people who are coming to realize they are ETs are adult, are not the children, because the children are living a spiritual life already. They're already somewhat content with their own understanding of themselves. They haven't come to the discontent that older people have come to.
How large is the community of extraterrestrials that you know of that are out and aware?
Well, the introduction to my book was written by Brad Steiger. He wrote a book called Star People, Starborn in the early 80s. He's helped me a lot with this project. He actually had an organization of several thousand members associated with his book. And I know that there are many thousands of people all around the world who know that they are ET souls, but generally don't tell people. So wherever I go, I meet people who are saying, I'm so glad you finally wrote this, because nobody's talking about this in the New Age scene. So gradually we are gathering. People who know that they are ET souls are coming together. But the purpose of this is not simply understanding identity. It's about purpose. It's about serving humanity and developing oneself spiritually through love and wisdom to help the world more and more. Because this is a difficult period of time. There are many people suffering, and there's an opportunity to help day in and day out. Every experience we have gives us a chance to help people around us.
Were you skeptical at first? When did you become aware? How old?
See, when I was 16, I started reading ancient Buddhist and Taoist in Indian texts, mystic tradition texts. I was already open to a greater view of reality and the spiritual universe around us. When I was in my 20s, I lived in Buddhist monasteries. I did intensive meditation. This opened my mind to truths that most people find fantastic or crazy.